Everyone, welcome back to another video. Thank you to the people who supported me throughout this year, and I hope I can get the same support next year. I made my first video on a Bugatti Chiron, and this is my last video, ending it with a Bugatti Chiron Sport for this year, and I hope next year would be good for everyone. And do you guys want me to make more amazing videos? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm going to be starting with a French engineering performance. So you get 1,500 horsepower, 1,600 Newton meters of torque, and 0 to 60 is 2.3 seconds. That's just very fast. You get rear wheel drive, but when you are on launch control, you get all wheel drive for some extra performance and extra torque and extra horsepower. You get an 8-liter quad turbocharged W16. Twin turbo fans are gonna be like, let us try quad turbo, and they're like, okay, maybe it's just 2 more turbos. It's not gonna be like a bit change type of thing, but it's actually super fast. Like poof, it just beats a Lamborghini Aventador SVJ very nicely. You get a dual clutch automatic gearbox 7-speed. The way they've written the gears into the gear lever, it's slightly confusing. A car guy who does not know so much about Bugatti Chiron, he's gonna be like so confused when he gets inside the car. He's gonna be like, oh my gosh, how do they do this? But a Bugatti owner knows how to do this. Don't mind me, I'm just pulling up the spoiler for some extra aerodynamics. Okay, so you get 16-inch alloy wheels from the back and 15-inch alloy wheels in the front. That is big alloy wheels for a hypercar or a sports car. You could get a sunroof as an option, like there's one there, but I don't have one. That's just so sad. I would like a sunroof. The headlights, they look very, very cool. They're LEDs. There's some squares in there that they're also acting like a turn signal, and also they're running lights, and when you open the key, they do a very nice dance. Here's the grille, the horseshoe grille, very well known. From the Bugatti EB110 and older versions, they had that grille, but the Bugatti EB110 had a tiny version of it, the baby version. And the tail lights, they look especially amazing. Let me just pull down the spoiler because it's really disturbing my face. This tail light, it looks super cool. This bar of light, it lights up when you hit the brakes or when you're going on high speeds. What I noticed about the change is these exhausts. They're much more changed. In the other one, there's sort of like just some weird rectangular triangles stuff. And here, there is a nice party trick. 2 more exhausts in there. So in total, 6 exhausts on this thing. That's why, no wonder it's so loud. Get a nice C. It just reminds you it's a Chiron. Now let's count the aerodynamic parts in this. Counting aerodynamic areas with car reviews by MA7. Number 1, spoiler, aerodynamic. This area that splits up the engines. In there is a hole. It absorbs air, and then the air comes out of these wheels so that it gives more traction to the car. And it's a little slippery, very little slippery, so that you can get some extra fast areas. And by the way, it also takes in cool air into the engine. More aerodynamic here, more aerodynamics. So in total, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 aerodynamic areas, because these 2 areas are also aerodynamic. The side grills as well over here. And you get a lip spoiler in the front so that it could go a little more faster. Let us see what's underneath the hidden storage compartment. Not really hidden. Anyway, you get 15 liters of space. Very tiny. You could fit 2 boxes of Cheetos. Basically, what you're wondering, there is not so much difference with the regular Bugatti Chiron and the Bugatti Chiron Sport. Well, no, you're wrong. It has a little more aerodynamics, and there's very little more like slipperiness and extra traction. Oh, and it does save weight. And one thing that they did with saving weight, putting carbon fiber windshield wipers. Oh, and this thing stays low to the ground. And be careful on speed bumps because you don't want to scratch that lip spoiler. Just open the door. I'm just gonna tell you one thing. So when you open the door, underneath the floor, it projects the Chiron logo, which is very nice. I just noticed about the factory color of this car. The interior, exterior, wheels or rims, and the engine bay or cover, they are the exact same color. Yeah, there are different colors if you don't appeal to this color, red and black. There's this gigantic vent over here and up there and up there. It just releases all the hot air coming out of that gigantic engine. Guys, one thing that really confuses me, I've seen the engine out of the car. I was like, how do they fit this engine into this little car? It's not that little, but they somehow managed to fit it into the car. Maybe that's what takes up most of the weight. And as you can see here, this is the fuel door and the other side has the oil door. I have opened the doors to the interior. Let's go in. First off, you enter the interior. You're like, where is the infotainment system? You're thinking, does the dials share information? No, those are radio controls, climate controls, etc. What do you think those two screens in the gauge cluster are for? Oh, and by the way, the speedometer, it's an analog dial and it goes all the way to 500. The qualities of this interior is leather, merino leather, leatherette, aluminium, metal, carbon fiber. There is very little plastic on the buttons and the steering wheel, and there's very little good quality rubber. Normally the upper and lower parts of the steering wheel is carbon fiber of the regular Chiron, but on this Chiron Sport, it is Alcantara, boys. The gear lever, it's leather and some aluminium and metal. Quality gear levers made by Bugatti. So call them, and then if you want a new gear lever, no, don't do that. Sorry, Bugatti. Launch control button, it's a little underneath the steering wheel. It's just saying LC, standing for launch control. And it's in very good sight. You can easily press it. You're like, okay, let us beat the Lamborghini Aventador SVJ. Poof! And then put your foot on the brake and then ease up the throttle. And then for 3 seconds, you lift your foot off the brake. Poof! You beat acceleration of a Lamborghini Aventador SVJ with all-wheel drive. And also the Bugatti has all-wheel drive. There's the dome light in between of both seats, and it replicates the C on the outside. My personal rating on this 2019 Bugatti Chiron Sport is about 9.5 stars. The price for the Chiron Sport is about $4 million. It's slightly reasonable because you're getting all that luxury and that entire performance. Bugatti Chiron Super Sport 300 Plus has 304 miles per hour, and that's a world record with 1,625 horsepower. And the predecessor of this Bugatti Chiron Super Sport 300 Plus is the Bugatti Veyron Super Sport, which had 1,200 horsepower. The fastest pre-production car is the Devil 16 5,000 horsepower. It literally just eats up the Bugatti Chiron, even all of them. Bugatti comes second place, and I like Bugatti, so second is the best for me. Koenigsegg comes third place. Happy New Year! Hopefully we'll meet next year. Bye!